The New York Mets split the series with the Phillies. The Mets split the series with the Phillies, guys. Big series split. This is all things Mets, where you your latest Mets media. Definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into today's content video, and that is going to be on the Mets splitting the series in London with the Phillies. It was a big-time series, guys. It was an international series. It was great to see, a lot of, energy was, in this game, in these two games, honestly. It was good to see. But, man, the Mets in the first game, you're going against Ranger Suarez, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. You're going against the best team and one of the best teams in baseball. I mean, what are you expecting, to be honest? You got Sean Manaea on the mound. That's not really a recipe for success. So, when it comes to Sean Manaea, guys, he was okay for the first 3 innings. But then, in that 4th inning, he allowed some trouble, and he couldn't get past some certain guys, and then the Phillies did damage. And when it comes to that, Starlin Marte also missed a fly ball at right field. So overall, that game wasn't too successful for the New York Mets. Ended 7-2. Just in general, little to no offense from the New York Mets. I mean, not really that surprising when you're going against Ranger Suarez, one of the best pitchers. And in the first inning, they had him on the ropes. They just couldn't really get to him much. So yeah, man. But the second game, it was Quintana, and it was going against Taijuan Walker. I felt like this was more of a chance for a win for the New York Mets, because you got Taijuan Walker. Apparently Taijuan Walker has been searching for himself with his pitch command, his pitches, and he's still searching for his groove. So I felt like the Mets could get this win against Taijuan Walker and against the Phillies in this game. But obviously you're going against the best team, one of the best teams in baseball, so it's not going to be easy. But, Jose Quintana came up, doing the same thing that he always does, guys. Quintana, walks a lot of guys, gets in trouble. But in the first inning, he got a big double play. And, yeah, at the end of the day, Quintana, this guy is just not that good, man. He's not that good. Quintana is just not that good. And what made Quintana, a little bit better, last year was his control. But this year, his control is all over the place, and he's just not, finding it with his control. He's just not getting the pitches for the strikes like he wants. So, but, the Mets were down 3-0, and then, you're going against Taijuan Walker. Luis Torrens, guys. Luis Torrens gets a base hit. Pete Alonso walks. The Phillies take out Taijuan Walker, which was good to see. And then, Brandon Nimmo comes up, and Brandon Nimmo hasn't really been clutch. He hasn't been really getting those hits like he should be. But it was 2 outs, and he got a nice base hit there, to left field, and he got the 2 runs, in with Luis Torrens and Pete Alonso. And it was good to see. It was good to see. It was really good to see. Luis Torrens scored, and then Pete Alonso's on third, and Nimmo's on second. And then JD Martinez comes up, and first pitch, he's swinging. And that is what you want to see. You want to see an aggressive JD Martinez, and he gets a base hit, makes the game 3-3. And then, David Dahl, from the Phillies, pitch hits against Nunez. Nunez has been pretty good for the bullpen. He's been, a breath of fresh air for the bullpen, which is really what the Mets bullpen really needed. But David Dahl pitch hits and hits a home run to right field. So the Mets, are down again, 4-3. And then we get to the 9th inning, and you got Jose Alvarado. Tyrone Taylor gets a base hit to start the inning. Jeff McNeil comes up, already has a hit in the game, and gets a hit up the middle. And now you got third and first with nobody out. So, then the next guy walks. And then after that, the Mets are in a good position. The Mets are in a good position. And, it was really good to see, bases loaded. Pete Alonso gets hit on the leg. And, now we got a tie game. But then, man, when it comes to Jose Alvarado, his control has been all over the place. And, the Mets get another run and, make it 6-4. So, at the end of the day, when it comes to the Mets, they was successful in that inning because Jose Alvarado blew up. Jose Alvarado was a really good guy with velocity, but he could get a little out of control, and he definitely got a little out of control in that game. But then the Mets, we get to the ninth inning. You got Reed Garrett on the mound trying to close the game. And what I love about this, what I really love about this, and I don't know if you guys saw, but Carlos Mendoza already has Drew Smith warming up once the ninth inning starts. So you're getting ready for a worst case scenario already. That's what I really like about Carlos Mendoza. That was a really good managerial move right there. Getting Drew Smith up just in case Reed Garrett gets into some trouble. And, Reed Garrett, he walks the first guy, or no, it was a base hit. And then, he walks the next guy. He gets a pop-up, so you got one out. And then, yeah, man, at the end of the day, you got Reed Garrett, and then Bryce Harper, gets a base hit. So now you got bases loaded. So now you're bringing in Drew Smith right away because, you don't want to get too much trouble. So Drew Smith actually walks Alec Bohm, with one out. And then now the Phillies, are one run away. So after that, Nick Castellanos comes up. And, Drew Smith it seemed like he was a little nervous. He was searching for it. There was a mount visit. Hefner, visited. And they needed to get this out. They needed to get these guys. You got Nick Castellanos, a double play candidate, especially a fly ball candidate as well. But, he gets a ground ball. Luis Torrens, the catcher, steps on home, throws to first. That's a double play. And the Mets win the game, guys. The Mets win the game 6-5. So they split the series, right? They split the series. It was great to see, the energy of London, all the series, all of that. That was amazing to see. But then when it comes down to the series, they needed a split. You got the Miami Marlins coming Tuesday, so you got to get the split. You got to win the game. You can't lose, 2 games in a row to the Phillies. And what I love about this is the Mets didn't lose. And I know a lot of people were counting out the Mets, and man, when it comes to this Mets bullpen, you never know what's going to happen. So I didn't expect a clean inning in the ninth inning at all. But the Mets got so lucky with that double play, and they won the game. At the end of the day, they won the game. That's the most important part. You need to win games. Even if you're going against the best team, one of the best teams in baseball, you got to win games. Now, let's get into a comment of Steve Cohen, basically saying, recently, in a, what's it called? Press conference. My goodness, press conference. And what he is saying is the worst is done. We're done with the worst. We've seen the worst already. He seems like he feels a Mets turnaround coming. And I personally feel like the Mets can turn this around. They can. You got Alvarez, I think, coming back Tuesday. So you got some momentum. You got some positivity, in the works. And yes, you're going back home to face the Marlins, one of the worst teams. You did get swept by the Marlins earlier in the year. So this is like a revenge scenario for the Mets. They have to either sweep the Marlins or win 2 out of 3 and just keep winning games. But when it comes to that, do I feel that the Mets have a turnaround? Can they turn this around? I feel like the bullpen is definitely something, that is not great right now. It's not. And it's going to be hard to close games with this bullpen. So Edwin Diaz had another rehab appearance yesterday, and he is going to be back, I believe, either Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Something like that. He will be back in the Miami Marlins series, which is good news. But what Edwin Diaz are we going to get? Because the fact that Edwin Diaz is so important to the New York Mets, guys, he is so important. And I feel that, they got to get him right. So I hopefully hopefully he comes back. The slider's working. You know, the fastball in the minors was 97.2. So it's not like he doesn't have that fastball to get up to 97. It's not like he doesn't have it. But will the Mets get a turnaround? Will they turn this around? I think you're 3 games out of the wild card, the 3.5 or something like that. Yes, you have a lot of teams in front of you. Yes, but nothing is certain when it comes to the MLB season and the wild card. So you got to win games. There's still a chance. There is still a chance that the Mets have to get a wild card spot. Now, it is not very likely. But if they play with energy, if they bring that momentum to Citi Field, and this is my problem with the New York Mets. They don't score runs in Citi Field. They're not a good team when it comes to, runs above average in Citi Field. Their home ballpark, and your home ballpark should be a place where you thrive. It should be a place where you want to play. But they're a better road team. So I don't know what we're going to get out of the Mets. We got Tyler McGill. He's going to pitch in the first game. And then you got David Peterson's going to pitch in the second game. But can the Mets turn this thing around? I hope that Alvarez's positive energy and young energy can bring some energy to Citi Field and to the Mets offense. Because I feel like the Mets offense right now, with Alvarez back in the lineup, this is the best lineup you can possibly have this year. So I am really, really excited for what's to come with the New York Mets just because of Alvarez being back. But can they turn this thing around? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you guys feel? Can they turn this thing around? I don't know. I hope so. I mean, that's all I could do. All I could do is hope so. So at the end of the day, that is going to be the video, guys. So we recapped the series on the London series, and we also talked about Steve Cohen's comments. So let me know what you guys think about the series in London. What do you guys think about what do you guys think about Steve Cohen's comments? And yeah, man, at the end of the day, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry if I was rambling a lot in this video. It was a lot to cover. But I think that, the Mets, I'm excited for what's to come if it's positive at the end of the day. And I hope it is. I hope it is, because they have a chance to go on their best run this year. They have a chance. Will they do it? I don't know. That's going to be the video. Love you guys so much. Have a good one. Stay blessed.